Hello everybody, this is Gruesome Fox coming at you with a 600 cost rated match here in the RF Zaku. We're going to be on Arctic base for this match here, and the RF Zaku was the first of the RF units we got added to GBO2, and since then we have gotten a wide array of different RF units from F90. With the RF Zaku, we also have the RF Goof, which is a suit I have covered twice on the channel actually. We also got the RF Sagak, the RF Dom, and the RF Gelgook. And the RF Zaku and the RF Goof are the only two that I have been able to get so far. The RF Goof is a raid, while the RF Zaku here is a general, and it is at 600 cost. And yeah, RF Zaku is a suit that I have heard quite a lot of good of when it initially came out, so it really was a suit that when I got it, I really wanted to try it out and, kind of see how it was, because at 600, I'm usually pretty set on using the Engage Zero Yonfiavin as my main general, so, I was very curious to see if the RF Zaku here would be a contender for that, which we'll get into, later into the video here, but for now we'll start off just, going over what the RF Zaku has here. And, for your weapons, you do have the RF Zaku Beam Rifle, which does have a standard instant stun when fired uncharged, and when charged it fires a burst of 3 rounds. And I believe on most mobile suits it takes 2 rounds from the charge fire in order to get a stun, so, probably good against targets that have a bit more stagger resistance. For your melee weapon, you have the RF Zaku Beam Axe. Now, I haven't really seen for certain if this is true, but I think the axe is able to knock down targets no matter how you hit them, because I think a few times I've gotten a neutral swing and it caused an enemy to knock over. I'm not too sure about that, maybe we'll see it in this clip here and I'll kind of get my confirmation later on, but for now though, it is a pretty good axe since it does give you a sliding downswing. For your secondary weapons, you have the RF Zaku 2-barrel Vulcan gun, and that is on your right shoulder shield there. And it's a pretty interesting weapon. The damage and fire rate on it are really good, but the stagger accumulation is terrible. It's not meant to be a, accumulation stunning weapon, but it does pair with one of the skills that you have with the suit, so I'll get into that when I go to the highlight skills, but you also have the RF Zaku Sea Serpent as your next sub-weapon, and unlike other Sea Serpent weapons, or really just, the Heat Rod style weapons in general, unlike any of those, this one actually causes a instant knockdown, so, really good if you were able to land it. And then you have the RF Zaku Beam Bazooka, that is your final sub-weapon, and I really do like the Beam Bazooka on this suit. I think it might be my favorite weapon in this suit's kit. It does really good damage, and it also seems to have a really wide splash radius as well, which I really like. And, aside from that, it is a just pretty good damage-dealing, instant stunning weapon. You do have to focus it, but it's a pretty short focus time, and, pretty good weapon overall. So, Beam Bazooka is probably my favorite weapon that I've used on this suit here. But, taking a quick look at the skills here, you do have Emergency Evasion System and Maneuver Armor. You actually have Flap Booster with the suit, so while you are boosting, you are able to, kind of have a pseudo flight as well, just at the cost of, it takes up more of your thrusters. And then the highlight skill I really wanted to look at here was the Pursuit Range Aux program, and that is the skill that I said paired really well with the Vulcans on the shoulder shield. Yeah, you can do a lot of damage with the Vulcan if you are using it on a down target. It's a lot better to use it on a target that I think has been down by an enemy, because I feel like by the time that you boost back, to try to switch to the Vulcans, you really don't feel like you can get the full Vulcan off before a target gets back up, so, I feel like the Vulcan, you can still use it when you get your own knockdown, but I think it is a bit better when it is a teammate who gets the knockdown, and, you're just kind of waiting there, ready to, crouch and use the Vulcan. That strategy has been pretty effective for the most part, but yeah, that's everything for the RF Zaku here, and I'm going to take the last 3 minutes here to just kind of talk about what I think about this suit, and I'm going to be honest, I don't really like the RF Zaku that much using it, which I know is probably going to be weird because I already said a lot of good things about it, but honestly, like, I don't really get the appeal of the RF Zaku. I think that's one of the issues here. Aside from the damage you can do with that range ox with the Vulcan and the, the knockdown with the wire, I really just don't see it. It doesn't really work for me. I've played the suit a couple times, and I just really cannot get any decent spots on the board after a match. This match here, I did end up getting third, but someone on the enemy team did disconnect, so it was a reason why I didn't really want to use this match at first, but the other match I had ready, I didn't really use a lot of the RF Zaku's kit that well, so I wanted to use this match because I think I ended up using a lot more of the Zaku's kit here. We just showed off a lot more than I would have in that other match, but really in most matches, like the highest I've gotten outside of this match, I believe I got third. I've gotten fourth, I think is my highest ranking, and other than that, it's really just been consistent low spots, especially a lot of 10th places. I've gotten 10th place so many times using the suit for the times I've used it, so I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong. I feel like for the most part, I'm playing the suit at least mostly how I've seen it played and how I've heard it's sort of meant to be played. Like, again, like going into the downswing with the Vulcans, trying to use the wire when I can to get the instant knockdown, things like that, but really, I just can't get the suit to work for me, so, like, I'm not really a fan of it personally, and not saying it's a bad suit, because it does, again, have some stuff that I really like on it, like the beam bazooka and, the sea surf and being able to instant knockdown I think is also really good. And, I mean, the beam rifle itself, too, I like the beam rifle. I think, kind of having that option to go into the instant stun or the rapid I think is good, but that's more like something I had to get used to playing the suit. But yeah, the suit itself is pretty good in itself, but again, it's just not really a suit that I have been able to get really decent results in, despite my best tries at just really trying to get something with it. It could just be me, though. Like, maybe it's just a me thing. It's something I've stated in the past that when it comes to some of the meta suits in GBO2, because I feel like the RF Zaku is pretty easily considered a meta suit. It is a pretty common 600 general, I feel like, but really, it's just a case of, like, there's just some meta suits that I can't play that well, so it could just be a case of that. It could just be really a me thing. It could be the biggest case of a skill issue, probably, but yeah, I mean, again, even though it's not a suit for me, I still think it is pretty decent. I think there's some pretty good things that it has going on, some things I like about it. I just can't put my finger really on what I'm kind of missing here, so I don't know, maybe in the comments somebody can give me a recommendation or something based off the gameplay here, kind of tell me where I can improve, but, mission completed. Let's see how we did here with the RF Zaku. And did get top in individual score and did beat my rival, and third place with 7 kills and 2 loss, and yeah, that's the best I have gotten with the RF Zaku so far, but also, again, somebody on the enemy team did disconnect halfway through, so something I took into consideration there, but yeah, that's really all I have to say for the RF Zaku here. Really just a video I wanted to make, because it was a suit I was really excited to try out, but now playing it, I'm not really as hyped about it as I was before. Like, it kind of lost its luster to me very quickly. The excitement kind of died down after, like, a couple matches. So, yeah, that's everything I have to say for this video here. Again, just one last time, just to emphasize on it. I'm not saying this suit's bad. I do think it has a lot of good things going for it, and there's probably people who do play it who are just much better at using it than I am, so yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm hoping I get more of the RF units in the future, because a lot of them still seem very common. I still see the RF Goof and Zagak a lot. The RF Gelgook is still really popular support at 650. The RF Dom I haven't really seen that much, but I've already gone over that on stream, so kind of going past the video limit here, so I'll end it here. So, yeah, comment down below what you think about the RF Zaku. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.